Hello, my name is Mitch, and I draw Blood Force, an extreme 90s-ish comic coming soon on a cosmic timeline to a publishing venue of some sort. Details. Until then, if you want to see the finished black and white pages, head over to Patreon. Links in the description. I post all my pages along with process sketches and character designs and whatever I can think of. And that's it for the gross salesmanship part of the video. And now we get on to the gross drawing stuff, because this page was a slog. This was unpleasant, but well, it's there's a lot of having to redo bits, so a lot of learning of lessons, a lot of relearning of lessons, and been reading a lot of advice recently saying, yeah, no, make a bunch of mistakes, it's good, you'll learn from them. And it's like, yeah, sure, assuming that you remember and don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I don't know if I'm at that point yet. But so I'll give you a quick rundown of what this page is about, and probably a little bit about what the previous page is about, because I don't think I've talked about it too much. So the deal here is that Blood Force is you know what? I'll talk about the organization that backs them a little bit, which is a branch of the government called Blood Brass. They're nice and direct when they name their divisions. And there's this offshoot of Blood Brass called the Special Phenomena and Speculative Monitoring branch, or SPASM. And so they do all the info stuff. And SPASM has tracked a meteor that crashed into a mountain. And they think it's kind of funky. So they're going to go over and investigate, but they alert Blood Brass. Blood Brass sends out Blood Force. Blood Force goes down to investigate. Turns out that the SPASM operatives have all been wiped out. Their camp has been destroyed. So this page is mostly them finding that out, doing a little bit of investigation, figuring out what happened, and then being about to be jumped. So... Oh, and there will also be a lot of changes of camera angle, because I was trying to find a way to... Let's see, there we go. I was trying to find a way to reconcile between finding an angle that, shows this well enough, and shows this clearly that there's a point in making a video, and doesn't impede me actually drawing. And, it's very difficult, actually. And I tried several over the course of this. I think I found one towards the end that's acceptable, but it's still more of a compromise, which is in theme, because this page is all about compromises. So, I mean, even that, you can see that big panel up at the top, like that's going to be just a pain in the ass. I know it at this point. It's a bird's eye view shot, and so it's kind of in perspective, but I didn't work out any of the perspective, because why would I? At least not for that kind of shot. And some people got their backs to you. Some people are in 3/4 view, and it's just and not only that, I've got to have a bunch of bodies in there, as well as a bunch of destroyed stuff, and that's going to be such a problem. Another thing is that you probably won't notice, but I suppose it's possible, that the drawing is a little sped up in this one, because there was actually almost twice as much footage. So last video was 5 times speed, this one is 8 times. And yeah, I think I forgot that you can't actually see the entire page, so I'm gonna, we'll get a bit. We'll get most of it. Yeah, you can see my hand moving. That's kind of what you came here for, right? That's part of it. Ugh, terrible. Anyway. Yeah, this page just isn't super fun. There's not a lot of... I mean, the most fun stuff to draw is either action poses or close-ups of heads. And that's the stuff that I'm most comfortable with, so obviously that's what I want to draw the most of, right? And this stuff is all smaller figures doing stuff to move the plot. There you go. At least I put it up there. And try to make that pose a little bit more dynamic because it was pretty stiff. Yeah. Spread the legs. Put the arm up. Looks like he's about to fight, even though he's just going like, hold on. Get that ponytail in there. And this is a spasm operative they're examining here. Yeah, you can see how fast the pencils come together there. I don't draw that fast. And you can already tell that head's not right. And again, I'm aware of it. So I'm going to put a rock under his head to the, oh, he fell on the rock. And it crook-headed him. It's a shame. Come on, you know you're going to do it. There it is. And they all get to wear these Nick Fury-ish outfits that are nice and graphic and let me get a lot of black on the page. So that's nice. And of course, a standard thing where even though they're geeky scientists, they do have insane muscle definition because everybody does in this universe. Unless it's that molded Batman armor. It could be that too. Could be they're all smooth as butter under those. We'll never know. And now I'm going to draw a close-up of Hawkstab because that's just my favorite thing to do. And maybe a little bit too expressive here. If, to really embrace the parody, he should probably be completely blank-faced. But I do like doing the acting. And I'm letting his hair get a little swooshy here because that perm is just... I don't know how to do... I've tried to do the Liefeld perm. I can look at, Liefeld pictures and go, okay, I can make those marks. I'm quite sure. But I can't make them make sense in my head, so I can't do it without having the reference right there. So if I make it just like a swooshy mess, that works a lot better for me. And it's kind of a little funny that this is the stuff I'm type penciling. It's like, you don't need to do that. Like, I'll take forever just inking this, You should be type penciling the stuff that's actually tough. But, I mean, part of the point of this as well is me having a good time drawing, so, yeah, I guess I can't rip on myself too much. And we get fire burning hard. Just constantly punning. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea when I did that. I mean, puns are kind of a thing for comics, for these kind of comics. I suppose. But, they're not my thing. I'm not some kind of guy who just constantly has to break out the puns. So now, I got these characters who are constantly just like fire puns and dick puns all day. And we get Max Streamus. And I'm just at the point with Max Streamus where it's just like, okay, just draw her. Oh, and the camera isn't... This was a new angle where I tried to do it to the side and set it up on a chair, but didn't realize that there was momentum carrying the camera away. And, I don't think I realized it for a little while. Yeah, there's that swooshy hair again. But yeah, I mean, like this pose here, nobody wants to draw this. Bird's eye view, 3/4, looking away. Yeah, I got to draw back muscles. Everybody loves back muscles. At least Max Extremis is pretty easy here. You just draw Cousin It from behind. And here's some Popo to just darken the mood. Because he needs it. Always needs some Popo. And that gun is not positioned correctly. That looks like he's just showing it off to everybody. Like, hey, everybody, check out this thing. It weighs like 3 pounds somehow. And here's the body that they're going to be investigating, and that body is just such a problem. Again, if I tried working out like a perspective grid or something, maybe that would have made it easier. I don't know. Yeah, redraw the leg. Oh yeah, now I remember why. I was thinking, like, this doesn't look too bad. Why didn't I keep this? No. We'll see why in a minute. Yeah, redraw the leg again. And draw some fire burn way up in the corner here. Yeah, make him a little bit smaller than Popo to indicate that he's further in the background. And, oh, wait, I can't fit his legs in there. So we'll draw him a little higher up. And draw him down, and nope. Nope, still can't fit his legs in there. And I can't make him too small because of the angle. It's not like I can just put him on the horizon line. So just get rid of that whole thing. Make a smaller Popo. Doesn't work quite as well in perspective, but it's okay. Again, the compromises. And it gives me a chance to reposition that gun. And I'm still drawing... Here, hang on. I'm pretty sure I'm still working with the same... like the ghosts of the old underlay for the Spasm operative here. So he's way too big for Popo now. And still can't fit Fireburn there. Come on, draw him smaller. And that right now, I'm at the point where it's like, do we even need Fireburn for this? I think he has a line, so we kind of do. Yeah, that looks a little better. Change the camera angle so I can see what's happening. I gotta think that's happening soon. And we'll get hard in here, and this is, in order to fit him into this frame, this is probably the smallest hard has ever been. And that foot's no good. It looks like he's standing on Hawkstab's head, so it doesn't quite look like he's standing on his head there. You can get that that's a perspective thing. That's okay. I decided to put him in front of Popo, which makes him look even smaller, but I guess with where their feet are placed, that kind of has to be the case. Okay, so I'm trying to draw him smaller, and I really want that leg up. But that leg looks terrible. Come on, get rid of it. You know you want to. No. Yeah, get rid of it. Gonna have to go full splayed. Each of you get a foot. God, he's way too big. I'm quite sure. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. Oh wait, the way that leg is going, that doesn't look too great. Maybe he's just a tall guy. I mean, there are people who are like 7'5". That happens. And then we get to shock block, and as is so often the case, by the time I get to shock block, I'm just done. So just indicate where he is. And this dude who's erupting out of his midsection. I was aware of the tangent when I did it. Ew, that bicep's terrible. Yeah, as soon as I kind of faked it in there, it's like, oh, that's going to look like... Well, that's kind of funny that it's going to look like that, so let's leave that in there. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, wait, I guess I thought it did. Yeah, that's maybe a bit better. And then after all that, the camp is just going to be a table with a laptop on it. Don't worry, I'll be aware very soon that no, that's not going to work. Oh, this is good stuff. Didn't bother to rule a line in pencil first. He's like, I can just figure it out. Right? Nope. So now you get to deal with that. What do I do? I'll just do another one. I'll white it out as I go. So I think that one's going to stick, where, I think I might rule my lines in pencil beforehand. But again, that's one I probably should have learned like 20 years ago. How do you have a lapse on that? And to make ourselves feel better, we're going to go and start inking Hawkstab. Yep. Just run the ink over that chin and just feel the anxiety melt away. And not a lot of room for hatching in this panel here, but we'll do what we can. Yeah, get that black in there. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Those eyes look a little funky, but I think it's okay. And see, didn't he have to draw one Liefeld triangle in the hair there? That looks great. I think this is back to my original angle. So we're back to focus problems and the potentiality of headbutting the camera, and I've decided that's good enough. The only problem is I think I set this up not quite the same, so it was actually impeding my drawing even more. So this picture of Fireburn here, I don't think this is quite as good as I could have got it, because I'm trying to navigate too much. Not that it's exactly easy to tell with the focus here. I like this Fireburn outfit. He's all shiny and sleek, and you need that when he's going to be standing next to Popo. And of course, that's a little bit of a rip-off of the early Stormwatch costume designs. A little bit. I think without actually looking at reference. And then it's a photorealistic, didn't you know? I kind of let myself have a bit of a lapse here. Not really keeping in theme, going way more cartoony, but I don't know, it's a little funny him just popping his head up there at the possibility of battle. And this isn't the best head for hard, but he's off in the corner. And he'll be largely covered up by word balloons probably, so I think it's okay. Again, at this point, it's just like, okay, let's just work on getting this page done. I still love the speeder. It makes everything look so deliberate. It's great. I think I'm going to try going back to the 5 times after this, though, depending on how long I take on the next page. The next page is a bit of a mess, too, but the end result, I think, is going to be pretty good, actually. Yeah. Hard's head is not really on straight there. But if you fake the shadows, it kind of looks like it makes sense. So that's okay. Yeah, that's alright. And he's already grown since the last time we've seen him. Yeah, get those nice thick outlines around everybody. Man, it took me a really long time to realize that was, I mean, I think I read back when Understanding Comics came out, like in the 90s. That, yeah, no, you do thick outlines for your characters, and then all the detail you do with thin lines, and that makes them stand out more. It's like, oh, that's cool. And then I didn't use it until like the beginning of this project, I think. Saving Max Extremis for last because, God, I just know I'm going to screw that up. The way this page is going, it's not going to be easy. I'm going to have to white out her face, and it's already kind of small. No, let's do shock block. Yeah, and again, shock block gets kind of a quickie treatment here. You got to feel for shock block. He deserves better than that. I'm going to resolve from here on to try and spend more time on shock block. That is a strange pose, though. Not sure what he's doing. Maybe he was like stroking his chin, and now he's just turning like, what? Might work, yeah. Yeah, probably a good idea to do some tight pencils on Max Extremis before you try laying down ink. And this is the most imagey pose I've been able to pull off when it comes to Max Extremis. As evidenced by the shelf of her chest there. I don't think I quite got to the point where her waist was in front of where her neck would line up to, but pretty close. So I'm getting there. And saving the face for last because, again, I know I'm going to screw up the face. Alright, let's just do it. Get in there. And now we go back to Popo. And there's never going to be any problems during Popo, right? I find a way. Don't worry. And for this whole bit here, I've actually forgotten that Popo's headband is supposed to have tails to it. So I'm doing a bit of method acting with my making my 90s comics in that I'm starting to just forget costume elements from panel to panel now. I mean, that'll make it easier. I was having to do that on purpose at first. Yeah, and I don't think I'm realizing here that his shoulders are looking a little meaty. I do like the tightness on there around the jacket, but yeah, he's looking pretty. I mean, with the bunchiness of the pose, it's kind of understandable. But I have a tendency to just kind of lay down, like get an idea of what I want it to look like in my head, and then put it on the paper and go, yes, that is how I wanted it to look in my head, and didn't really consider whether it ended up looking right. I should probably pay a bit more attention to that in future. Yeah. We got our spasm operative here. Well, eventually. Yeah. And he's got the wound in his chest, but you really can't tell, unfortunately, because of where Popo's boot is. It just kind of that piece of the costume kind of floating off. It just looks like another shiny on Popo's boot. So I think we're gonna have to just black in Popo's boot before I actually declare this page complete. And remember to put the biker gloves on Popo this time. It's usually more of a last minute thing. And yeah, part of the reason that his torso looks too big for his head is just where I put the shadows. His pecs look like they're gigantic. And I'm going to keep that up too because I think I lost track of... Yeah, see, that looks like it's supposed to be the rib cage, but I think I thought it was supposed to be the pecs. So... Yeah, that doesn't look right at all. And I'll fix that up in a minute. A lot of fixing up on this page. I haven't even started using the whiteout. That's coming. So I think this is the angle I settled on. And again, it's not entirely what I wanted because it's got this weird angle. I'd like to have it flat. But I am able to draw a lot easier now, and it's not right in my way. And you can still pretty much see what's going on, so I'll keep this going for a little bit. Oh, yeah, I fixed the shadows on Popo's chest there. But it still looks like he's, again, just this giant sack of meat in that trench coat. But really, aren't we all? I got to try and draw around these things. And there we go. First of the whiteout being broken out. And just draw over and white out what you don't need. Yep. You can put shadows in and that'll cover it up. That helps. But yeah, so far every single panel has had problems. And we're not even at the one that's going to be the worst. So do what we can to just make this look okay. Get it out of the way. So we can work on the next one. I'm a little surprised I didn't just decide to start over. I guess it was, yeah, like I said, like this was pretty much what I envisioned, at least the angles and poses. And it's just like, no, it didn't look that great. Or at least not as good as I hoped it would. Again, this is I think the finished product is fine. It's not the best page I've done. In terms of this book, it might be the worst, but it's still, it's satisfactory. Yep. And get that Liefeld screaming body. As we all know, easiest way to tell if a person is dead is if their mouth is as wide open as possible. Because alive people don't do that. But yeah, so it gives me a chance to get some black on the page. You gonna finish that leg? Yeah. Okay, so that one's pretty much done. I'll do something approximating backgrounds there. I like that I was about to go and just like, oh wait, nope, that head looks terrible. So let's retry it now. And that looks much better. It looks too big for the body, but we just make the body a little bit bigger. Probably not big enough, but again, he's a skinny guy, so it's probably okay. And surprisingly, this head worked out very well, actually. That's probably the best head I've drawn from that particular angle. And I mean, like that right there might be the reason why I haven't started over. That and the hawkstab head beneath it. It's like, okay, those are good bits. Those bits are worth putting in a comic. And out of the rest of it, nothing's bad enough to make it be like, no, we can't put this in. So, all right, we'll just keep going with it. And get lots of lovely black in there. That looks great. Yep. Get cross-hatching him where you can. That light is not, that's going to be a problem with how bright that thing is. Trying to figure out how to back it off but still light this thing up well enough to see without ruining the focus. Again, it's going to be trial and error. And we're going to try and get our textures in here because he's been shot by, like a laser of some kind. And so we got to try and figure out something that's vaguely resembling a burn texture. Or something like that. So since this part's all been black so far, we'll just kind of crosshatch a supposed burned area. I guess you could totally do this with color. Never occurs to me. The finished product probably will have color. At least at some point. I just don't take it into account when I'm drawing the thing. Because I never see it like that. And we're gonna do hard first because I'm pretty confident I can do this. And he's separated. So knock that down, get it out of the way, take up a little bit of real estate on the page there. And it's a little less daunting doing the rest. Ah, there you go. That's a little better. There's that fist again. Again, shorthands. And there. So we've done a fair bit of the page here, like a tenth. Now Hawkstab, yeah. And I don't like this pose for Hawkstab. I do like his hair. It's very swooshy. But I think I've done detailed enough pencils that I can just go in with inks and go over it. And it shouldn't be too difficult. And again, nothing here looks terrible. It's just not quite as cool as I was hoping. And there is an element of fatigue at this point. I think you get like that with pages sometimes where it's just like, why aren't you finished? And yeah, we'll do... Oh, right. We jumped a little bit here. This was the one bit of footage that I dropped. Again, thought it was recording, but wasn't. So Maxtremus and Popo are mostly done. I'll get Fireburn in because this is an easy pose. Again, just filling up some real estate with ink. So it doesn't look like I have a gigantic panel to fill. Yeah, get them tiny abs in there. Decent leg. That's a good leg. And the ponytail. Which, I mean, is always 50-50 on whether it ends up on a page. No, I think I decided, yeah, that he's too big. So let's shorten him up a little bit. Shorten up the legs too? Yeah, we do. Oh, did we? I don't know, that kind of looks like it's still the same length. It does look like it fits him fairly well, though. Yeah, that's okay. But that face is so tiny and at a weird angle. There was no way to make that thing look good. Or at least no way for me. The abs looked okay, though. That's really what matters, This tiny little fake hand, which didn't end up looking too bad. No structure underneath it, though. That's just kind of drawing nubs and hoping it works. Yeah, and these red shirts don't get ornate costumes. They get the basic version of the General Rancor look. I fixed up that bicep a little bit on shock block. I like how that arm ended up looking, actually. Kind of very thick. There's like a meatiness to it. And again, I probably should have thrown more structure into shock block here. And that way his ass wouldn't have ended up going on crooked like that. I'll fix it in a minute. There we go. Now I can't write. Now we gotta wait for that to draw, so we'll work on something else. What are we gonna work on? The gun. Sure, why not? Yeah, we can throw the end in there. That looks reasonable. And then we're just gonna fill this up with weird techie textures. You see a white space, throw some lines in there, throw some vents in, maybe a button. Make it a little bit of a weird shape. That's probably, makes it more realistic. If it's not smooth. We are learning from Liefeld in that respect, in that we're not doing just giant tubes for guns. Yeah, throw that foot in there. Okay. And fix shock block's ass. Yeah, kind of. It's a bit of a tiny ass. He's a bit heftier than that, but that's all you get for being down there in the corner. This guy here, you don't get a lot of detail. I mean, I've filled up most of this panel now, I'd say. But this is where we're getting to the hard part, because I gotta fill in the destruction of the camp. And I think at this point I still didn't have any idea how to do that. So we're gonna delay a little bit, put some grass textures around this screamy head. And how about more grass textures? That seems like a good idea, right? That's not wasting time. That's adding to the texture. I have no idea what I'm whiting out because I forgot to tilt the camera down or move the page up. There we go. Okay. Get some racing done. Do everything you can to avoid having to fill in all that crap. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this guy. How could I forget you? Because of the terrible angle you're at. Yeah, it kind of works. And at this point, I'm starting to realize we need some black up in the corner to kind of weight things down, and again to take up some real estate. So they came out of some shrubs, which was always kind of the idea. But might as well put it down now, and then this corner at least will be done. Yep. And I don't think we can put it off any longer. We have to try and draw some sort of tech here. And this is just this was a bit of a new thing for me. This is just kind of letting my hand go freehand and like it's like almost automatic drawing. It's like I don't know, throw some shapes down and we'll see if I can turn it into something. And then debris, which never looked right, probably partially because of the placement, and I was aware of that, but couldn't quite figure it out. Okay, I guess he needed more detail. We'll draw another thing, and we'll draw something that's almost definitely a thing here. That's a box of some kind, I'm sure. So since I'm looking at it, this is still a mess to me. So I picked out the thing that looked most like I could make it make sense in a 3D world. I'm trying to fill that thing in. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of techie. Oh yeah, I remember he needs a foot. Draw a little bit of that debris. Still doesn't look like the kind of debris I want. Draw another thing here, make it shiny, make it kind of dented. Yeah. Okay, fill it up. Oh yeah, decided I needed a satellite dish down here. I guess that's what that is. As long as you make it look somewhat solid, that's all that really matters at this point. More things lying around. That's almost definitely a thing. Picnic blanket. I don't know why they need a giant tarp at a spasm site, but apparently they do. And hey, if they got shot with like lasers and plasma stuff, then there should be like scorch marks. And that one looked pretty good, so we'll repeat that. And trying to turn this one into something that just isn't anything. I don't know. That's okay. It fits the theme. Scorch marks. More scorch marks. Yep, again, filling up that space. Not too shabby. Don't want to have to touch that big tube-looking thing, whatever that is in the middle there. That looks all right. That's some kind of screen. Yep. All right. This is probably okay. It's coming along all right. Yeah, throw panels all over it. That makes it more techy. I'm not even sure where this is coming from. I don't know if there's an underlying drawing to that. Oh, and this is where I really went wrong. It's like, you know what? I should put in grass texture. Except it doesn't look like grass texture. Looks like arm hair, really. And it's all kind of a little evenly spaced. And it just kind of grays out the whole picture. It does fill it up, but I don't think it fills it up the way I wanted it to. Put some more shadows under everybody. So that's a good idea, at least. And yeah, fill this up with panels. Something kind of engine-y looking. Yeah, not bad. Stick like a turbine looking thing in there. Put some ports. And I think I'm about to realize I put like a smoke plume, so that could be coming out of one of the ports. I'll get to that eventually. Put like a giant dehumidifier here. That thing's okay. I might reuse that in the future. Yep, dent it up. White some of it out. And oh yeah, we got to draw this guy too. Yeah, I'm just kind of desperate to finish this at this point. And the worst part is that the next page is going to be really fun too. You know? So like, it's not like, you know, I can just forget this page and like maybe rework it or something. No, you really want to get to the next page. Like finish this up. You don't want to come back to it. Even if it's kind of crappy, finish the page. And up here, could have had more text, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to weigh down another panel with some black, or another corner rather, with some black. Yep, so put another scorch mark in there. Yeah, I mean, you know, he gets across what I was looking for. And now we're going to go in and remove a bunch of the grass textures. Try to do it randomly so that it, you know, you get these lines occasionally, but it just makes it a little bit more chaotic. Yep. That's what you get. And the end result is, you know, okay. I don't think there's anything in that page I particularly liked. Or in that panel, rather. There's stuff on the page here that I like, so that kind of evens it out for me. And don't forget Popo's gun. And then just color it in wrong, so okay, I'll just do that too. Now, these little vent things here, those look okay. Could do that again. And again, just throw some panels on, throw some like textures, I don't know. Why not? And one more tree line. Come on. You can do it. Finish lines in sight. Anything else? Oh yeah, I gotta clean up after the whiteout. And we're just about done. There we go. All right. So that was page 17. And yeah, that took forever. Currently I'm working on page 18, which did have... it's a lot of fun. It's much more action-y, but I did have to restart about half the page. So, but it does look a lot better. So I'll try and get that done before next weekend, I think. And I'll put that up here. And I think in the meantime here, I'm putting up the finished page 17, hopefully. Probably. But, yeah, if you want to see more of these, I think I said at the beginning, during my Huckster phase, go over to my Patreon, links in the description, put up all my stuff, yada, yada, yada. Follow me on Twitter at, I never remember, Team Blood Force. And, yeah, that's all of it. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.